session in just about 2 minutes. Please do take your seats. We're starting in a few minutes. I'd like to thank our sponsors again, Karnataka Roundtable Conclave, India Today Conclave. The roundtables co-presented by Star Health Insurance, powered by Dollar, co-powered by Rapido, associate sponsor Britannia Good Day, Green Panel, Gajraj Jewelers, and Verify. And I really appreciate all our guests here seated right from the start of the day. This is an agenda-setting event right ahead of elections in Karnataka. All the newsmakers joining us on this very platform to tell us, to make the headlines much needed right ahead of elections, basically setting the ball rolling for this heated battle. We have Ramya, actress and a politician, an actress turned politician, to join us on stage in just a few moments from now. Again, request your friends to come back and take seat. We're starting in just a few minutes, please. Hi everybody, please request our guests to be seated. We have our panelists here already in the room. Ramya, Divya Spandana, aka Ramya, actor par excellence. We've all watched her, loved her. She's a favorite of every household here in Karnataka. I bet I can safely say that. At least for my family adores Ramya. She turned to politics, had a successful stint there, but went missing briefly in the middle. Is back here today on our stage to tell us a little more about her life, what's been going on, what's happening, what's for the future, and how does she envision Karnataka and its political status. Thank you very much, Ramya, for joining us. If I can invite you on stage, we have a house full here to watch you and listen to you. Shiv Arur, our executive editor, going to be moderating this panel. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody, and Divya, may I say, or Ramya, may I say, really good to see you after a long time. And I know that all your fans, because when we teased this session on social media, I had this huge flood of tweets saying the Queen is back and the Queen is bouncing back and things like that. So, first of all, a round of applause for Divya. I'd like to start, Divya, by congratulating you on your re-entry, it looks like, into politics after something of a hiatus. You've been named as a star campaigner for the Congress party in Karnataka. How did that happen? How did that happen? Who reached out to you? How did you agree to it? Because this is after a fair amount of a break.
KC Venugopalji and Surjewalaji reached out and they asked me if I would be willing to campaign, and I said yes. I may not be able to make it for all the events, but you know, wherever I can and whenever I'm available, I will. So that's how it happened.
So how did you make that decision? Because Divya, you'd taken a bit of a break from politics. I mean, from a very high-profile kind of role. You know, you exited politics, and a lot of people were wondering, hey, where's she gone? Mm-hmm. And now you're back. So you're going to be back in the spotlight once again, because this isn't a backroom operation. You're going to be a star campaigner. So you're going to be out there. So how did you take that decision?
I had decided to quit even before the general elections in 2019, and I had conveyed this to Rahulji, and I decided to quit solely on like health issues that I was going through at that point of time, and I needed a break. And he was, I mean, a little unwilling, but he said, well, you need it, so, you know. And I didn't like talk about it, so I think a lot of people, you know, were wondering and curious, and there were obviously a lot of other reports doing the rounds, and at that point of time, I didn't bother clarifying, but then I realized after a point that, you know, it was, everywhere I went, people would ask me about, you know, those rumors, and I was like, okay, I need to set it right, and then I spoke about it. But then I've always been supporting the Congress, and in fact, before these elections, the BJP also reached out to me because I think they also thought that there was something going on between me and the Congress, and I was like very magnanimous of you, despite everything that I've said and criticized, you know, the BJP and its leaders, but no, that's not happening.
So you're saying the BJP also reached out to you as a possible star campaigner?
Yes.
Or as or to fight on a ticket?
Yes, to contest the elections, yeah. And they said, Naleni Nimna Minister Martivi, and I think because, you know, there are very few women in politics in Karnataka, and also the caste equation, as much as I don't like saying it, it is something that is considered. So I think from that angle, they sort of, yeah.
So who reached out to you? I mean, I know everything is in motion here in Karnataka.
From the top leadership to, yeah. They sent feelers, and they also directly spoke with me, and I was like, you know, no, that's not happening, and everything is fine. And more than that, I think ideologically, I am more like a centrist, I'm more a liberal, so I don't hate the BJP. I just disagree with, you know, some of the things that they stand for.
No, this is actually incredible. From taking a complete break from politics to both the parties wooing you, that's definitely news. And the BJP also offering you
and the JDS too, when I met...
so the JDS also...
I met...
the three parties were fighting over Divya, basically.
I met Kumar Swamiji at a salon.
At the salon?
Yeah. and he was like, I don't know, Ramya avare hegidira bahala varsha aitu and neevu enik bitri politics neevu barlebeku and all of that. I was like, so okay. Yeah, and he was just, talking to me about politics, and he said, you have so much potential and you should come back to politics and you should, sort of, don't leave politics is what he was trying to tell me.
Just to close the circle on this topic, you had the three parties basically directly or indirectly asking you to come back and join them, but you decided to go with the Congress because that's where your heart is.
Yeah.
Were you hoping for a ticket from the Congress party?
Well, they did offer me like 6 constituencies for the MLA elections, saying that, these are your options and what would you like to do? And I said, I don't think I'm ready for it yet. So, yeah. But I'm happy. Like, you don't have to, like, really contest to sort of support a party. You don't have to be in electoral politics. Like, I did social media for them. And now I'm, sort of campaigning for them. I think every little thing that you do for the party in whatever little way you can is also matters.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I'll come to the very interesting social media phase in just a moment. But Divya, when you say you weren't ready for it and you were offered 6 constituencies and to take your pick for the Congress party, was it for health reasons? Because you didn't feel physically or mentally ready for it?
Yes. I don't think I'm there yet, but I'm on the road to recovery and sort of, trying to get back. And I think politics needs that kind of commitment, that kind of time, and it's something you can't just do, like, you have to be on the ground, right? Electoral politics is about being with the people and being there, and that needs that kind of commitment and time. And I don't think that I have that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Between 2017 and 2019, Divya, you were a political celebrity. You know that, right? Apart from being a film star, you were a political celebrity. Everyone was talking about you. I was in the newsroom, and I remember that as well. All of everyone knows that you were the one who crafted that entire social media manner of the Congress party. In many ways, sort of raised it from the dead, as it were. And then there was that very abrupt end to that. There was a spring in its step. There was a great deal of aggression, and then suddenly you just unplugged for health grounds. And I'm glad to see you doing well and back in it. But as you rightly said, it left room for a lot of rumors. And when I say rumors, I mean there was a large section that believed it was you who were frustrated with the Congress party. That there were people working against you within the party. There were people who were perhaps jealous of the access that you had with Rahul Gandhi and others. Was there an element of that as well, that you were burnt out by the work? Because you left before the election, not after the election.
Right, but I stayed through the elections and then I put in my papers much before.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that happens, right? Because the political party, the structure itself is that, it's survival of the fittest, right? So everyone is trying to jostle for your space, for your position, and things like that, and they're very limited positions. So everybody is trying to, take away what you have. And that, of course, I dealt with on a daily basis. And also that, actresses and women are not necessarily taken seriously. So any suggestions and everything you put forward is just seen like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. So I think what helped was my work spoke for itself. So I think people did take me seriously. So I didn't face much resistance there. But I don't think I took that to heart. But yes, work was being made difficult. But then I think that's something you sort of work through, you learn to sort of maneuver your way and get stuff done.
Because Rahul Gandhi had practically handpicked you for that role. Right. And he clearly saw something right, because what you brought to the table as far as the social media role was concerned was there for everyone to see. Are you saying that despite the fact that Rahul Gandhi's proverbial hand was, behind you or on your head, there were still people who were trying to pull you down, interrupt your work?
All the more, right?
Yeah.
The minute they see that there's someone who has that proximity to him or who's able to sort of influence things, there will be more people who'd want to bring you down. Yeah, and I think I wish I didn't have that, and then things would have probably been easier. Nobody would have taken me seriously and just say, "Acha chalo," she's just doing something. But yeah, but I must thank him because when he asked me to do social media, I was like, really, like me? And he's like, no, I'm sure you can do it, and I know you will do it. So actually, he had more faith in me than I had, and some of the most viral things that we did were all ideas that he gave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after you unplugged, at the time when you decided to get out of politics and take this break, did all these things that were happening within the Congress add to your mental strain, your emotional state? The reason why you decided your health comes first, the fact that you were working too hard and being sort of interrupted at every step?
I don't think it was the Congress as such. The BJP is equally very hardworking, right? So they really made me run.
Yeah.
Like we had a lot of work to do. It was very stressful. There was so much misinformation out there, and there were like all these things, being said online. I literally ran it like a news corporation, and it was like 24/7. We didn't know when the BJP would tweet something or some incident would happen, and you have to be there. You can't let the ball drop. So I think and I'm not used to that life, right? Like being an actress, you shoot 9 to 6, sometimes weekend you don't shoot. You have someone to hold your umbrella, you have someone to put your shoes on for you, and here you're literally doing everything yourself. So I enjoyed it, no complaints whatsoever. But yeah, I think whatever happened on its own. I don't think it's got to do so much with the job that I was doing.
Because you've been a Lok Sabha MP, you're not it's not like you were, randomly parachuted into the social media role. You've been an elected representative briefly in the Lok Sabha, and so you know what political life is like. So are you looking forward to a bigger role now? Are you seeing this as a first step towards a larger political role?
I think it really depends on one's capabilities and what you're able to do for the party. So I feel like if they think that I can win them a seat, then maybe electoral politics. If you think that I'm someone who's better at strategy or doing something, with the party communication or even like in charge of a state, I'm okay, really. I'm okay with anything.
Because just before you entered the social media space of the Congress, Divya, and you know this perhaps better than anyone, it was a pretty sleepy kind of operation, mild-mannered and not edgy, that the word which we love using. And you brought that kind of spunk and edge to the Congress's messaging, especially on social media. Do you see that as your legacy? Because after that, that has been what the Congress's social media's tone and tenor has been. If you look at it now, it is like super edgy, very, very aggressive, on the button as far as every single topic is concerned. That's something that you brought in first. So do you still look at it and say, this is what I gave birth to and it's still going strong? I'm
really happy, and also because, a lot of the team that we put in together is still there, and they're still sort of taking this forward. So I'm still in touch with them. I chat with them, and yeah, they're still there. I think they're doing a really good job.
Do you think the Congress was late in realizing the worth of social media? Because at the time when you took it over, there was a sense of distance. Not a great amount of importance paid to social media. Now it's completely the opposite. Now the Congress is completely on the front foot as far as social media is concerned.
Yeah, I think back in 2014, I don't think the Congress was using social media much, but it was also people just moving into the social media space, right? A lot of people didn't know of Twitter, but now you have a lot more users. Instagram, I think Facebook is pretty much, I don't know, passe. I don't know how many people use Facebook anymore, but but Instagram and Twitter, yeah.
During your hiatus from politics, Divya, have you stayed in touch with Rahul Gandhi? Has Rahul Gandhi stayed in touch with you?
Sort of, yeah.
Because in a couple of recent interviews, you've talked about how he was there for you in a difficult time. Tell us a little bit about that.
I lost my father in 2013 when I was filing for the nomination, on the day of filing the nomination, and I was very close to him. He's not my biological father, but he's someone, he's the father I never had. And I was very, very close to him, and I lost him on the day of filing my nomination. And I didn't know anything about politics. I didn't know what upper house, lower house, Vidhan Sabha, Lok Sabha, nothing. And I didn't know my constituency, Mandya, at all. And I think with that, I think it came as a shock to me, and it was a very, very low phase for me. And I didn't want to contest that election, but I did, and 10 days later I was in parliament, and I didn't get any time to grieve. And I think it was through this period that I sort of, started to ask those kind of existential questions. And I think it was through my work that I actually found some kind of, probable answers. And it was after I lost the election that I met Rahulji, and we sort of exchanged contact with each other. And then I think he sort of, through that period, helped me through it. And he introduced me to Vipassana and Advaita Vedanta and Zen Buddhism and things like that. So I think that sort of really helped me. I lost complete hope of life, and I contemplated the extreme at times. And I think if not for him, I don't think I would be back here today doing what I'm doing. Yeah.
The Congress party and its the media cells, as it were, Divya, are often criticized of being almost completely dedicated to constantly repackaging and selling Rahul and recrafting him for public consumption. As someone who was entrusted in some ways with, selling the idea of Rahul to voters, what is your assessment of the Bharat Jodo Yatra and the manner in which Rahul has now been projected to the people? He's called himself a tapasvi. He's taking during the Bharat Jodo Yatra. He said, he's a tapasvi. There is this the whole Adani issue has become a big thing that he's taken up as his big issue, like Rafale during 2018, 2019, which you're familiar with. What do you think of this image of Rahul that has now been painted?
I don't think there needs to be any repackaging or anything or trying to sell him. I think it's there for people to see. And I think, going by the circumstances, the environment in the country today, I think if there's one person who's really speaking the truth and not backing off, despite being stripped of his MP status and his house and everything, he's still speaking about it, Nobody else is, no one from the film industry, I'm sorry, but nobody in the media, nobody's talking about it, only he is. So I think that kind of courage, that kind of bravery, I don't think anyone else is displaying that. I think only he is. And I think that's there for people to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a small interjection. As far as India Today is concerned, we've been raising all of the issues. There are many others who don't, but
Great.
India Today group, no fear or favor. We ask all the questions from all sides, but I know who you're talking about. But on the issue of Rahul, he's begun his campaign here in Karnataka. There are going to be lots of rallies. I was here in 2018, and I remember it was like this mad war of rallies. Rahul, Modi, and all the big guns. Do you think there is a Rahul factor that matters in an election like Karnataka, where the issues are so staunchly local, and the Congress this time is trying desperately to keep them as local as possible?
I think you need someone of some stature who will come and speak to the people and people actually listen to them. But I think the issues to be spoken about would be local.
Yeah.
I think Kannada, the language, our culture, the corruption of the BJP, this 40% commission, whatever, all of those things, I think those things will matter.
Do you think, because the Congress party this time has, it's pretty apparent, even from far away in Delhi where we report this from, that they're picking and choosing the narrative and the issues that sort of hinge on Kannada pride, regional identity, Amul versus Nandini, and things like that. What is your assessment of that? You think that's a good thing? Yeah,
absolutely. I think Hindi imposition, Kannada pride, state-owned, entities versus trying to get national into, I think those definitely matter, for sure. Yeah. I think the narrative here is good, but there has to be more of a campaign. Like, I don't know what the slogan is. Do you know what it is?
We'll get to the slogans in just a
know what
moment
it is.
because I do have a couple of questions on slogans versus slogans. But the BJP, in some ways, is trying to make this a bigger than Karnataka election. National issues. The Congress, like I said, conversely, is trying to focus as hard as it can on keeping it as local as possible because it feels it's a disadvantage if the issues get nationalized and it becomes like a Rahul versus Modi kind of thing. Do you think that's what it is?
I think it's a
The
disadvantage.
Congress is treading
for
a path where they don't want it to become a personality clash between Rahul and Modi.
No. I think here the BJP is on the back foot because the local issues are so strong and they are disadvantaged there. Like I said, because of the corruption and things like that. So I don't think that, the Congress is trying to keep it more local and not national, and the BJP is trying to make it more. I mean, to each their own, right? I mean, to each their own. They're trying to take advantage of each other's weaknesses. But here, I know the public really cares only about the issues, like local issues, like what really matters to them. I don't think that 2014 thing. I think Rajdeep wrote a book, na? I don't think that wave.
I was about to quote from it actually.
I don't think that wave is there anymore. I don't think. I mean, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I want to talk about the other hat you wear, which is the first hat actually, which is as a film star, as a superstar, and no doubt that's part of what the Congress wants to draw on as with you as a star campaigner.
I'm very disappointed you said that. I thought I was worth more than just that.
That was 100% compliment, believe me, fully a compliment. I'm just saying, Divya, what? And this is not a loaded question. I'm genuinely asking because you've had a specific role in the Congress. You've been an MP before. They were raining MLA tickets on you, and you said no. What do you think you're going to bring to the table this time? As a film star as well, I mean.
See, I've been there, and I know that film stars don't really swing votes, and even if they do, it must be like very small margin. But I do think that, if you're going to a particular constituency, it's easier for the candidate to get people to come and sort of, listen to what they have to say. Otherwise, I think basically all parties just pay people to come to these events, And whereas with a star campaigner, it's much easier to get the crowds because even though they're just coming to see the person, you're also in an advantage that they get to hear what you have to say about issues and whatever. So I think in that sense it helps, right? Because that's all politics is about. You need the crowds, you need people to listen to you and then make an informed decision and then sort of vote for the candidate.
Because, because the Congress made it something of a virtue of not, enlisting a bunch of film stars. The BJP has got Kicha Sudeep on its ranks as far as the star campaign is concerned, especially for the incumbent chief minister. What did you think of that?
Well, he and I were we're good friends.
Yeah.
So when he told me that, he's not sure, should he not? So I sort of, we were having a chat and I think he did meet people from the Congress and the BJP as well. And then...
Was he also wooed by both?
Of course,
wooed by the Congress?
Yeah. And I think finally he decided to go with Bombay Mama, as he calls him, I think he knows him personally and he just thought that, he would campaign for him. Yeah.
But did he tell you why he decided that?
He's just said for reasons. He didn't really, and I didn't probe. It's his personal decision. But I do think that, he should sort of get into politics at some point because I think that he has potential and I think he can sort of make a difference.
Do you think, apart from, the crowds coming in, do you think that any party that enlists a lot of star power is signaling that it is on the back foot? Do you think the BJP is weak in Karnataka and that's why it needs star power?
No, because like I said, even they know that stars don't really swing votes for them. It's just a very, very small margin, it's not something. So I think it's just like I said, like you bring in the crowds and you sort of, speak to them. I don't think that having or not having is really going to make a difference. That's my personal opinion.
Speaking about, hung houses, which Karnataka is so used to. Saw it happen in 2018. It's happened a few times before that as well. As someone who's now going to jump right into the politics, and you will be expected to know everything that's going on. What do you think? Do you think, because most people think that the JDS is just rubbing its hands in glee on the sidelines, waiting to be kingmaker once again, or king, like the last time? Do you think that's a possibility?
I think it's too early because here elections is just the last 2 days, that's really like something that will tell you which way it's going to go. I think right now it's too early. But I do think that Congress has an edge, and I do think that Congress is in a better position than it was in 2018. And I do think that JDS is doing like an aggressive campaign because, like you said, they want to be the kingmaker again. But I feel really for the people of Karnataka, and I think they should really go out and vote like in majority, because we don't want another hung assembly and, then another Operation Kamala, I don't know, 12 point, I've forgotten whatever the number is, because then the people really suffer. So I really hope that they see what is happening and they really go and vote for whoever it is in majority. And I'm hoping it's the Congress, but yeah.
2022, Divya, was marked by, one polarizing issue after another here in Karnataka, and I'm sure you, looked at all of them. What did you think of that? There was the hijab issue, there was the halal issue, there was the azan issue, there was the, chapters in textbooks, Muslim traders. It was almost non-stop through 2022. It was a continuous narrative. What kind of message, in your view, does that send out to an electorate?
It means that the BJP has nothing else to talk about, right? If you have like a great economy and you have jobs and you have development, then I don't think you'll be bringing this whole Hindutva narrative. I think when they push that, that, okay, the BJP is trying to digress from the real issues. And that puts the rest of us in a very difficult position because, that's a very sensitive topic to maneuver for all the parties. But I think it's important to sort of keep the narrative strong on local issues, no matter how much they try and speak about things that actually don't really matter.
You were, in your role as someone who was in charge of the Congress's image at one point of time, and I just have a couple more political questions, and then let's talk about film. Do you think that the Congress is going the right way? The narrative, the things that they're talking about, many of them are echoes of what happened in 2018, 2019. Some believe that the Rafale issue then, and I'm not saying qualitatively, but the doggedness with which it's being followed is like the Adani issue now. There are differences within the opposition. As someone who used to be in charge of the image of the Congress party, is there anything you would change in terms of messaging, narrative? Not just for Karnataka, I mean even for 2024.
I think the Congress, at least as far as the communication of, let's say, Rahul ji and, the main leaders, is always to speak the truth, right? Whether it was Rafale or whether it is the Adani issue, I think truth has to be spoken, right? I mean, it has to be told. So I think in that sense, I think we should keep that going. But also at the same time, I think don't make it only about that, because there are other issues as well that we need to be talking about. It's like, for example, in Karnataka, I think they're getting it right when you're talking about things that matter to the people of Karnataka. If you bring in Rafale and if you bring in like other issues, I don't think people really resonate with that, because they're like my village, my roads, my light, and things like that. I think those are things that need to be like development and jobs. I think those are very important.
So are you saying, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but are you saying that that was one of the mistakes of 2018, 2019, that Rahul Gandhi and the leadership of the Congress took the Rafale issue into the countryside and the heartland, thinking that it would resonate when it wouldn't?
Actually, that's because in Karnataka we have HAL, right? And there were so many jobs lost, and actually we could have done what he gave the contract to Anil Ambani, right? I mean, he didn't have any experience in it, and the company just opened like 10 days before, and HAL had the capacity to do it, but the contract went to him. And I think that was important, imperative to be spoken in Karnataka, because we have HAL here, and there are so many jobs depending on it. Apart from that, I think that the Congress really needs the help of the media, right? You need someone who will carry your message. And I think today people consume information through the phone, through news, and I don't think we get that kind of space in the media. Like, for example, the Prime Minister speaks to Ishwarappa, and that's like headlines. You know what I'm saying? But then Rahul ji gets, stripped of his MP status because he says something in context to why are Modi's thieves in respect to Nirav Modi and who's the other one? Nirav Modi and Mehul Chokshi. No, not Mehul Chokshi. Lalit Modi, right? And for that, I mean, and there are people who are really corrupt and who are just roaming around freely, like people who've killed people, let's say in the whole farmers' rally, right? They're still there, you know? But that's what I'm saying. We need the help of the media. Otherwise, you're always going to criticize the Congress and say they're not doing enough, they're not saying this, they're not saying that. Or when they say something, okay, this is not up to it, or whatever.
Believe me when I say, Divya, for every BJP story we cover at least 2 Congress stories. I don't think you're ever going to see an event in this country where you've got Amit Shah and then DK Shivakumar and then Mr. Siddaramaiah back to back at an event.
Yeah, I mean,
India Today is the only group that can do that, and it's because of the credibility of our leadership and our journalism as well. Again, I know who you're talking about, but it's not us. But
yeah, it's not.
And finally, to the last couple of, because we're almost out of time, and I do want to ask this. The film industry. I feel personally offended when people say South Indian film. Being from Karnataka myself, we are so diverse here in the South, so many different languages. There's no such thing as a South Indian film. But there is this big thing in Bollywood right now, films from the South versus Bollywood. You've sort of dipped your toes into the water of film production now. Yeah. How do you feel about that whole sort of dangle between the South and Bollywood, as it were, in terms of film?
I mean, as much as I don't like seeing South Indian films, I think for now we're in the spotlight and we just have to be really proud about it. Because it's always, like when you speak about films in India, it's always been Hindi films, right? Nobody really speaks of Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, and Malayalam makes great films, by the way. So I think
some of the best, yeah.
Yeah, so now I'm quite happy that, even if they're saying, okay, we're in competition with the South Indian film industry, somehow it makes me a little happy. Like, I'm proud that, they're talking about us.
Not just competition. I mean, the South Indian, the films from the South are,
Yeah, breaking box office records.
There's no comparison.
Yeah.
Bollywood's like lying battered in front of films from the South at this point.
Yeah, but Pathan did well. So, yeah. But the sad thing, though, is there are no OTT takers for Kannada films, like Netflix, for example. They buy Tamil and Telugu or even Malayalam, but they don't buy Kannada films at all. It's some policy that they have. So despite the fact that Kannada films are doing so well, whether it's Kantara or KGF2, there are no takers. So producing a Kannada film is still really difficult. You have Amazon who will only take a film only after it's released in the theaters. Sony is not buying, and you only have Voot and you have Z. So options are very limited. So if you make a film, and it does its theatrical run, and then even if the OTT wants to take it, it's a very nominal amount that they pay you. So still making films in Kannada is still not very easy.
I'm sure all of the OTT players have heard you say that right now.
I hope Netflix is listening.
I hope they are, and I know they are actually. But my final question to you, and this is actually from all of your fans, Divya, which is, what next for you? You've produced a film. When are we going to see you again on TV, on screen? What are your plans next?
You're seeing me now. Are we not on TV right now?
Yeah, but this is non-fiction.
No, I think, okay, whatever. So I'm producing a film called Swati Muttina Malehaniye, and it's ready to be released. And then I'm making a comeback in a film called Uttarakanda. And then, of course, I'm going to be campaigning. So you'll see a lot of me.
Okay. Wish you the very best, Divya. And thank you so much for being here and being so candid with us.
Thank you so much for having me. And thank you for being so nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ramya, for bearing it all, speaking your heart out. That was a lovely session. Ramya, actor turned politician who makes a comeback, this time as a Congress's star campaigner at the Karnataka elections. You'll see her campaigning for the Congress party in a few weeks. All right, our next session that we're coming to is the youth of Karnataka. In fact, hungry and restless. This is what defines the youth of our state. Leaders as well as voters. The youth are energized and they have multiple issues based on which they want to vote this time. What are those real issues and how are Netas really addressing them? We have some of the young netas who are going to be joining us on stage. I'm going to introduce them in just a few moments. All right, if I could request our audience to please have a seat. Let me introduce our panelists for our next session, the youth hungry and restless in Karnataka. If I could call on stage, please. Bhaskar Rao, former cop, now turned politician. He has been fielded by the BJP, will be contesting elections this time. Can we please have him on stage? A big round of applause, please. We also have Congress MLA, Samya Reddy, again viewed as a youth leader, a prominent face within the Congress party. Samya, thank you very much for joining us. Please take stage. We also have Tejaswini Gowda, BJP MLC, who's just about arriving. We're going to give her a few moments. She's just entering. All right, we have Ms. Tejaswi joining us, BJP MLC. Thank you very much, ma'am. Right, thank you, Tejaswini, for coming over. This is a platform. We're setting the agenda ahead of elections. India Today Roundtable Karnataka, having all the newsmakers, and all of you are in the news. You know, when I said youth leaders, someone said, how do you define youth today? At what age group is youth? 35, very few. 45, some more. 60 plus, you see a whole load. So, Bhaskar Rao, what according to you is the youth?
Anybody who feels like
Sir, your mic.
Anybody who feels youthful is a youth. That's it.
So, Bhaskar Rao is known as a youth leader today?
I'm honored to be on a youth panel.
Soumya?
I think 40 and below is youth, because I just turned 40.
40 and below is youth, okay. Ms. Tejaswini?
Yeah, this is the energy level and the dream level. And we can have the efficiency and commitment to implement.
Absolutely. I think it's all, first of all, very low representation of the youth in all parties. I don't know. Would you like to clarify?
Our party has been pushing a lot of youth over there. It's been creating space for youth and deliberately asking them to take up opportunities over there. A lot of them. We don't have very old guard and very, even if you take the senior, all the senior most positions over here in Karnataka, our oldest candidate and youngest candidate, we are the youngest compared to JDS as well as Congress.
Well, this time almost 52 fresh faces the the BJP has fielded. So I guess that could corroborate his statement. But somewhere in the
72.
Congress, there were
72 new faces.
72 new faces. Young faces? Can I say all are young?
Yeah, it's more than 50, 72 new faces.
Preferably young.
Well, but a lot of them are actually dynas. What really happened to BJP is like, we're against dynas. So almost over 30 of them are relatives of politicians. I mean, we have in fact introduced a lot of young people. My neighboring constituency, Bomnali, has a young person. In fact, I am young, I think, so yeah, I mean, we do have a lot of young faces, youth, and of course, everyone.
You're also a
age.
product of dynasty.
Of course I am. But what I'm saying is, I'm just saying, you don't have to be a hypocrite, right? Talking about BJP is like, oh, we're against Parivarvad.
Well, Bhaskar Rao against Parivarvad, but somehow the Parivarvads, at least
My Parivar is the biggest Parivar. I have grown from grassroots level. Like Tejaswini also. We all come from the bottommost level, struggled, fought, faced closed doors, insults, humiliations, and then that is where we have come till now.
But the last panel discussion, you were in AAP, sir, suddenly.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in AAP. I was in Aam Aadmi Party till about 3 months ago.
Suddenly, these kind of sudden activities happen. It's very normal in politics, isn't it?
No, that's what when my friends were asking, I said there are transfers and postings after retirement also.
Yes, the language of a former cop.
See, people like me believe in ideology, and no matter how much BJP tried to poach me, I refused to go.
Well,
Did BJP poach you, madam?
Of course they did.
Madam,
You guys poached 17 MLAs, if you remember, 3.5 years ago, forgot resort. And most of them are in fact like the old guards, unfortunately, be it
First
Mr.
of all,
Jagdish Shettar didn't get a seat. And all the people who you guys have taken have unfortunately, gotten a ticket. I don't know. It's very sad.
If I could jump in, this is precisely the mood of the youth today. Nobody is going to take anything lying down. You have opinionated youth, and it appears that somehow netas are lacking this connect and are unable to catch the pulse of the youth. Tejaswini, I'll start with you. Coming back to the debate here, do you think netas are disconnected from the youth, which is what explains the dip in new voters?
No way. Nobody can disconnect from the youths, because today 15 to 64 years age group is 70% of India is having such an age group. And youths are very well aware because of the thanks to the revolution in technology. Today people are well connected. They were aware. They will judge. They will react. Immediate reaction to their deeds and misdeeds. So they were well aware of it. And they would like to, I think they have their own priorities, education, the business, and they wanted to explore their talents in different fields. Maybe they may consider after some time in different levels. But as far as providing the opportunity and getting the opportunity for the youth from the national parties and regional parties, today I think we have to debate the reforms in the electoral reforms is must. So elections have become so much corrupt. Money plays the first criteria to get the ticket, to consider the ticket and caste. How one can provide. One side we are preaching the ideology, one side we are preaching the ethics, other side they demand, you see, I asked my sister Soumya, when you are pricing, when you have even to consider the tickets, 2 lakhs rupees they have charged. It is unheard. You claim your party is the oldest party and party of the poorer, Dalit, OBCs and all. You are charging 2 lakh rupee to get the ticket. What kind of democracy it is?
Are you saying that BJP is completely clean of that kind of allegation?
Should I talk about
clean is comparable.
Mr.
Clean.
Should I talk about the
Clean is
6
relative.
crore rupees that was found with Mr. Madal Virupakshappa recently? And this BJP government has got a wonderful title called as 40% Sarkara. And day after day, I don't think, it's kind of hypocrisy where you really say clean, but pretty much every other MLA has been accused of scams, be it the PSI scam, be it the egg scam. I mean, there is massive corruption. I mean, let's really get back to the topic of youths. At the end of the day, what do youths want? What is a first-time voter? You know, when I have been campaigning, you know, they say, Akka, we want good education, we want good facilities, we want development, we want jobs. We don't want all this polarization that's happening in our state. This is not our state. I'm sorry to say, your BJP state president says we don't care about development but love jihad. This is your own state president, sir.
You know,
this
really
sums up
give you a statistic.
the BJP's agenda in
All right,
a line.
Bhaskar Rao, that's your turn. But just picking on the unemployment part, 4 out of 5 unemployed youth now are from Bangalore. So Karnataka really is, in terms of unemployment, is high.
I need an opportunity to
Absolutely,
you
do have.
raise some very
Please go right
important
ahead.
question. Yes, I agree with you, Samya. I won't support any corruption, corrupt politics. I will never support whichever party. Okay. The thing is, and Congress and corruption. Congress is speaking against corruption. How you lost in 2014, how you lost your government?
Ma'am, let's talk about...
It was struck by all kind of corruption in the center. UPL lost that election because of corruption. 2G corruption, what not corruptions. I don't want to waste my time here. Number one. And who weakened the Lokayukta in Karnataka? Karnataka Lokayukta was one of the brightest thing in country. And why you? To save your corrupt leaders from the scams, you weaken the Lokayukta and you have again started that ACB. You installed the ACB to give the clean chits, so it is not our culture, it is not our.
All right,
effort.
you know,
yes, Madalu caught with some incident. My party has not given him the ticket, and now investigation is going on.
Ma'am,
if he is found guilty, we will not support that.
A contractor
and KPCC president, sorry, Soumya, and KPCC president DK Shivkumarji is struggling every year and every minute. He's making all kind of melodrama. BJP will try to cut my ticket. BJP will try to reject my ticket. All agencies and all. It is not. Shivkumarji is caught in the Delhi house. The same thing, disproportionate asset thing, and you don't have any morality to talk about corruption.
All right, can I just interrupt?
Let's talk about in the past 4.5 years the achievements of BJP, which is corruption.
Let's try and get back to precisely what you said. What do the youth want? You said the youth wanted employment, the youth wanted development. What is it that your party is doing to contribute to the youth's upliftment? Could you tell us what's part of your manifesto for the youth this time? Yeah, you.
So I just want to very briefly respond to what Tejaswini ma'am said. BJP in the state over here, actually had a wonderful opportunity to serve the people of Karnataka, be it the youth, be it women, be it farmers. And unfortunately, in the past 4 years, approximately 7 lakh people, it's been a massive letdown.
Ma'am, please tell us about what Congress wants to do
for youth. 1 minute.
Tutu Mema has become a little passe even for the youth today.
1 minute. So in 2014.
It's a little boring.
Nabila, it's a little...
Not about what you're saying.
Nabila, 1 minute.
We've gotten past that. Let's get back to the topic. I think we fought over things that are bygone.
Nabila, 1 sec. I'm the only person from Congress over here.
Absolutely.
And it's unfair to have two people.
We've taken 10
so let me talk. I mean, if this is the attitude of BJP that...
No, Samya, you've spoken a lot too.
You will not let women speak.
Madam, setting aside all these negative things, I can only say what my party has done. My party has given extreme emphasis for the development of youth's personality and as well as opportunities. It has introduced something called a Fit India scheme, a Khelo India scheme, a startup scheme, several schemes, and it has the Agnipath scheme over there, so that the
PSI scam scheme.
PSI was going on from your time actually.
You were the police commissioner. Are you saying that you were also
going on before your time, madam?
What did you do as a police commissioner then? You were in service back then.
Police commissioner had no role as regards the recruitment is concerned.
You were saying that
there are different
what did did you do as a police commissioner back then?
Police
How much
commissioner has-
corruption did
police
you
commissioner
really
has-
talk about? When you were a police
above the police
commissioner,
commissioner.
you were a police commissioner.
You are above the
were
police
in
commissioner,
service.
you are a lawmaker, you had every right to come in over there. And moreover, let us talk about the subject, at what is it that our government is trying to do for the youth over there. And as regards your party is
Nabila,
concerned,
whenever I
madam,
have an
we have-
opportunity to speak,
Madam,
I gave you
your
the
party
opportunity, you
will
didn't
have
take it. I asked you clearly, what is the Congress doing for the youth? You could have
had no
taken it
answer
away.
for that.
All right, let me
We have
give
got
you
several schemes, madam.
Sir, allow.
So many schemes
allow
for the
Soumya,
youth.
Allow Soumya. Soumya, go right ahead.
No, you asked the.
No,
I think she's
we want to
already-
hear about the Come on, let's get to.
please tell us what your Congress government is doing for the youth. I can tell a huge number of things which we are doing for
this is a BJP attitude towards women. That is, you do not let us speak.
Oh my God, I thought I was silently watching you speak over
Let's
there.
get to the point.
This is now personalizing the whole...
When you will
Please-
let me,
please
when
speak,
you will
madam.
let me speak.
Please speak, ma'am.
We are minority in every party. In that way, we should be together. Whenever the women's issue comes, even in me, I think media is very fair. Media has really given great opportunities. Even
Tejaswini
defense-
is speaking a lot. She has all the
politics.
room. Soumya, so do you. Go for
I'm
it.
still waiting for an opportunity because, see, at the end of the day, the youth, we as a Congress party, we're also coming up with a manifesto, and we're also going to emphasize on jobs. We're not going to just do one inauguration after another. It is not going to be a photo op like youth policy. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. We're not going to chase away companies to other states because we're going to have a safe place for all companies to come and bloom over here, which will enable them to give jobs for the youth of the state.
That's
And
why
then
so many
even-
companies left
Please don't interrupt.
Karnataka
Please
and
don't.
went away
Please
because of
don't
their
interrupt.
policies.
Please don't interrupt. So let me finish. I gave you. So and also we're going to ensure that there is safety, not just for law and
For
order.
youth,
is a
what they are going to say,
law and
Let them give
order
about
is
3
a
schemes
huge.
which they are doing for the youth.
Law and
Let us finish the youth
law
issue.
and order is a huge issue in Bangalore and in our whole state as well. Youth is unfortunately getting involved in all kinds of illegal
I was actually
activities,
coming to that question.
including drugs
What do you think-
and including
What do you think has
this-
led to that
and
rise
there is so
in
much
crime
of
rate
there
involving
is so
the youth?
much of communal violence. At the end of the day, we really need to go back to our
All
good
right,
old.
we've heard you. Now, I have a question for the Congress, since you said that the freebie culture, you all are giving away freebies to the youth as well, the educated graduates who don't have a job. Instead of creating jobs, there's a 3,000 rupees stipend that the Congress is willing to give. So
No, I
is
want
that
to know
not
the
pampering
I want to know, madam,
the
before
freebie
that.
culture within, the Congress is now...
You
Madam,
at least let Nabila speak,
I want
sir.
to know Madam, I want to know the schemes for the youth which they have. Please, I can mention.
One
Can
of
Congress
the
mention?
schemes is 3,000 rupees for graduates.
That is,
across
they
the
want to
state.
give. What have they
So
done already?
Is that not pampering the youth? Are you not discouraging them
So
from actually
previously-
actively going forward to find
So
a job?
I will answer your question. So previously, when the Congress government was here until 2018, when Mr. Siddaramaiah was a chief minister, I was also involved in a lot of job fairs. There was this department called as Kaushalya Abhivriddhi Nigama, be it skill development, and we ensure that there are job fairs and job opportunities across the state. And this was actively done. And in the past 5 years, unfortunately, and I'm an MLA representing, Bangalore, not one job fair was organized by the government. Not a single job fair. And unfortunately, it is the unemployment rate is at the highest.
Absolutely. That's something that I'd like
let
to
me
get
just,
into.
I'll just
but we
finish
heard
my
you.
sentence.
Allow them
She
to
should
speak also.
I'll just
be
finish
more
my
prepared
sentence.
for this debate for statistics.
Mr. Bhaskar Rao,
Unemployment rate in Karnataka is the lowest in the country. It is only 2.1%. Thanks to not only Kannadigas getting jobs, people from all over the country are getting jobs in Karnataka, madam. I'm sure you appreciate the number of people from all over the world, and all over the people from the world are getting jobs in Karnataka, not just our own.
Sir,
Are you saying,
four
are you
out of
saying
5
every,
unemployed
sir,
youth in
every,
the
are you
country today
saying
come
that
from Karnataka?
are you saying every youth in Karnataka has a job?
Every
No.
youth has an opportunity.
No,
The
I'm sorry.
unemployment rate in Karnataka is only
The government
2.1%.
The government
National
jobs.
rate is 4.1%.
The BJP
look at the
Government hasn't
opportunity.
filled the government jobs either. That's 2.5 jobs, government jobs, and 70 to 80 lakh rupees.
Madam, it's a very
scam
archaic and very old-fashioned
for
point
this-
of view to
for
say,
the
I
PS
want a
for the
government job.
public.
A job has to be...
You know, sir, I'd like to correct you there. Unemployment rate in Karnataka is low, is high at this point. We've
It's
seen
2.1,
it.
it's
It's gone up to
2.1%.
4%.
It's gone up to
National rate is
4%.
4.1%. National rate is 4.1%.
Right,
2.1%
four
is
out of
Karnataka.
5 unemployed youth come from Karnataka. So, I mean, we're seeing
Madam, you
a
will
really
kindly
bad time when
appreciate
it comes to
that
unemployment.
people from all over the
in
country are
state.
getting employment in Karnataka.
Right.
How do
Then
you
What
say
about
that?
us Kannadigas?
Maybe
We
you could
And there
Kannadigas
are
need
so many
jobs.
job
You
opportunities.
could probably
We
here.
are
attribute
born
that
and
to
brought up
a
over
huge
here.
number
We
of
need
companies
jobs.
More can be
Not
done.
just
I'm not
people
saying
who
more
come
can
from
be done.
outside.
More can be done. But I'm saying that this unemployment is a huge issue, but Karnataka has
So,
done
but
very
in
well.
your
to
view,
counter
you're
it.
a former cop. As a former police, you've dealt with huge crimes involving the youth. What do you think, in your view, primarily leads to
I'll tell you,
this
madam,
kind of misbehavior by the youth?
poverty is the biggest cause of crimes. If you go to jail, I have been there number of times, as to see, not to be part of that one. I have seen people from the lowest communities or poor people are in jail. Very few rich people are in jail. The rich people who are supposed to be in jail have all been cultivated by the Congress government. At the
What
top.
did
Now
you
they
do
are being-
when you were
who
a
all fled
police
the country and
commissioner?
gone away now.
What did you do about
the
it when
reason
you were a
because
police
of
commissioner?
Poverty. If you deal with poverty, you create opportunities. Then less people take to crimes over there. As a police officer, I'm telling you,
What
the
did you
more
do?
number of more amount. 1 second, madam. 1 second. If now I'm seeing that at a microscopic level in my own Chamarajpet also over there. Last 30 years, one single party is in power over there. It's become a scum and a squalor of the whole city because so much of crime, so much of poverty.
You were
that's
also police
poverty.
commissioner, no?
Yes.
Then what
is
did
it
you
my
do?
responsibility to create
So
employment,
you didn't
madam?
have any
My responsibility is to
You didn't
maintain
have
law and
any
order.
you didn't
You have to create jobs.
didn't
You are
have any
government. You are in
responsibility.
power.
1 minute, as a police commissioner, what did you do to reform the system
Madam,
within?
my job
Be
is to
corruption.
maintain law and
You
order.
spoke about
As a part
poor
of outreach
students.
policing, I can create some
What
jobs here and
reform
there.
did you
I have
create?
maintained law and order to the best. You are yourself aware of the kind of
so you
work we
knew
have done over
you
there.
knew about it when you were a police commissioner. Just
Nabila.
less than
You know
a
what,
few
Mr. Bhaskar,
a year
when
ago.
you were
What did
police
you do?
commissioner, the Congress was in power. How good
No,
was
no. When I was in the commissioner of police, the BJP was in power. But of course, I have worked under different capacities in the
Right.
Congress government also over there. See, solving unemployment problem, we can do a little bit of tweaking. What we call as reaching out to heart and minds over there.
Desperate
But
youth
it
are
is
waiting
not-
for
I don't
jobs.
have resources. My
This
department's
is a
job is
tweet
to
of
maintain
Mr.
law and
Bhaskar
order.
Rao in December 2022.
But madam-
Your own tweet. Desperate youth are waiting for jobs. Stop outsourcing. Conduct and fast track results of government jobs. Conduct PSI exam without waiting for investigation. Please consider to enhance age for 30. To
You are
increase
absolutely
30.
right.
16th of October
you are 100%
2022.
right. I can always ask for more
When
jobs
you,
to be created.
this
Yeah,
is,
I can have. I
and
can
you
always
joined
ask
the
for more,
very
create
same
more
party
jobs.
which you were accusing
Madam,
of
I can
all of
always
these
say,
things.
create more
now
jobs.
all of the everything is magically vanished and whitewashed because you joined the party.
More jobs can be
Nabila.
created.
Well,
That's
one
what I'm
minute.
asking.
Is
over
this
there.
your, so is this not your tweet?
Absolutely.
No, I have
More jobs can be
Let's
created.
toss it to Tejaswini. Go on.
So please stop politicizing armed forces and police. The same police will serve whether Congress or
Ma'am,
whether
we are
BJP or
we are
whether
not
JDS in the
politicizing
power.
armed
Why are you
forces.
always haunting the soldiers who are doing their level best to provide us the security?
Ma'am, we never
Don't do that
used-
job.
Congress never
number
used-
one,
Congress
Soumya, it
never
is my
used
turn.
army
Soumya,
and
it is my
police
turn. In
and
1991, when PV Narasimha Raoji tenure, when globalization started, will you not agree with that? Today we
Ma'am,
have
let's
to.
talk about Karnataka right now.
India
Let's
is the
not-
digital master
Congress,
globally.
Indira Gandhi never
Today you
politicized
have to
the
accept
army.
the technology. Today's job, mass production. We can't do mass production. Today unicorns, out of 100 unicorns, 19 unicorns we have in Bangalore. 4,000 crore we are spending out of
Ma'am, which could be even more because of
don't
because
answer
of
like
be it
that.
potholes,
Don't take away my
be
time.
it polarization,
If
be
you're
it
If you are answering me, I am capable
Please
of
tell
answering
your
you word to
colleague,
word. That's not
Mr.
correct.
Bhaskar Rao, not to interrupt.
All right,
Don't
can
interrupt.
I
Don't
give this?
interrupt,
Can
okay?
I give this a new
Okay.
direction?
In 5 years, they attracted FDI, foreign direct investment in their tenure, 13 to 18 is $20 billion. In our time, in one time, 21, 22, we attracted $21 billion. If there is no proper government, if there is no invest-friendly government, look at what is the global invest meet. 10 lakh crore rupee we attracted. And in which 3 lakh crore rupee things we have already addressed that issue. And look at the triple ITs. So look at the IITs. Okay, today we have to empower the youth.
Congress's
Today's
achievement,
youth
ma'am.
to the new challenges, new opportunities. Because of the digitalization today, an auto rickshaw driver, look at the flagship program of our Chief Minister, that is Vidya Nidhi. 2,500 to 11,000 rupees scholarships. 20 lakh farmers' children, fishermen children, auto rickshaw children were getting. Why you never even thought of it? 70 years problems, your curse, your backwardness, we are addressing in 7 years. After Modi ji came to power, 45,000 crore rupee came from center to here. In our old term, average is 2,353 crores. In our time, average is 5,000 crore. Look at the infrastructure. Just I'll quote because of time. Let's
talk about Karnataka. Let's talk about Karnataka.
Allow her to complete.
No, it is very unfair. You see, only I will quote 2 infrastructure projects. From Mysore to Bangalore, it is 8,150 crore rupee we spent. Earlier, 3 hours, we used to spend 3 hours. Today we can reach by 1 hour 50, 1.5 hours, okay? How much energy, how much fuel, how much time? Number one. Hyderabad.
What's the condition of that road, ma'am?
Allow her to complete.
Yeah,
so that we can move on.
Hyderabad to Bangalore. It is 30,000 crore rupee we spent. We believe in infrastructure and
all right.
Technology.
But it is a fact that the BJP has carried out youth development and infrastructure, no doubt.
Don't you think this infrastructure, all this development will produce the jobs, direct jobs and indirect jobs?
But that still doesn't.
Due to apps, even children, because of new education policy, they can pursue their studies. Due to poverty earlier, because this rural
but
children.
But ma'am, you're listing out so many policies that somehow doesn't look like the youth.
Nabila, Karnataka is
what
going
you're
to.
providing.
We are going to retain the power based on development, development.
Okay.
All right. Just a quick.
May 13th, you will be here to celebrate with us.
A little turn to this debate since we're talking about the youth. And again, I'm going to stress that just like what we saw a dip of new voters in 2019, we're seeing the similar trend now for Karnataka's 2023 election as well. New voters are not motivated. They seem fully disconnected from the netas and the political narrative altogether. And there seems to be some kind of fear for the youth to speak out. Some of them say, I don't want to comment. I don't think I should say it. What do you think is resulting in this kind of hesitation for the youth to speak their mind? Or is there one at all? Is there something to worry at all or not? Are we imagining things?
Nabila,
I actually don't know who to ask. You're going to bounce.
You're
going to bounce on one another, so one of you pick.
Nabila, less than 10 years ago, even 10, 15 years ago, I as a young person, I was never scared to speak. Unfortunately, the youth of the country is scared to speak. You answered it yourself. Unfortunately, be it journalists, be it young people, unfortunately are being put in prison. Because of fear. What are you going to wear? What you're going to eat? Which God you're going to pray is unfortunately become, issue. At the end of the day, we are citizens. We are equal citizens according to the Constitution.
Okay, Mr. Bhaskar,
irrespective of which caste, religion or anything.
Bhaskar,
Unfortunately, the youth of the country is scared. They want safety. They want jobs. They want education.
You're not letting a man speak. Come on.
They want
give him some time.
Imran Pratap Gari, who praises Atiq Ahmed, a mafia don, is the star campaigner for the Congress government. Congress people. So how can we expect from such people, under the Constitution, you cannot abuse the human rights. You cannot abuse the freedom of speech.
Please don't cook up stories.
Subject is going here, there and everywhere.
You cannot abuse the fellow Indians and the Prime Minister
Please don't cook up stories during elections, please.
He has not got selected.
Please don't cook up stories.
You have to respect the leadership.
All right, ma'am. Let's come back to the point. I'll take Bhaskar Rao on that. So freedom of speech speech, I haven't answered any question here. As much as some of them may say that, at the same time, we are having a debate so openly here. So where is the restriction at all?
Yeah.
Your idea and view, how would you look at this whole debate around freedom of speech, which the Congress has also set a narrative on that?
See, freedom of speech has already been over here, over there. And most important, what they've been mentioning about the communal issue, etc. over there. I only want to say that all these things of what we are seeing is a product of the Congress culture of isolating the minorities and taking them away over there. That is why all these speeches come over there. We want to bring them and closer and more inclusive over there to see that everybody.
How many tickets have you given to minorities? Please give me.
We don't
give
want
me
to
a
make
number.
them scapegoat. We don't want to make them scapegoat. In Ramnagar, a Muslim candidate got 69,000 seats. फिर भी आप लोग मदद नहीं करते।
1 minute, you're talking about minorities. Let's look at who is more inclusive.
You're not able
Let's
to
look at who is more inclusive.
You are making them scapegoat.
Let's look at who is more inclusive. We have given tickets to each and every community, each and every religion. What about your party?
I told you.
We
have during Yediyurappa time.
Let's forget about Yediyurappa's time. I'm talking about right now. Ma'am, I'm talking about the current. I'm talking about 2023 elections, ma'am. Forget about 2014. Forget about Yediyurappa's first time. Forget about
at the end of it.
You can't ensure their victory. Why are you making them scapegoats?
Okay, ma'am. Nabila wants a ticket. Will you give it to her tomorrow? I will challenge you.
Let her join my party.
For now.
And I'll ask Nabila to work for 10 years. When she got that confidence to convince her voters and winnable capacity, we will ensure. Let her join and work for the party first.
Absolutely. I think that's who should deserve the ticket. You work for the party and then you grow up the ranks. I don't think anyone should get it on a platter. Samya, did you get yours on a platter or did you work hard for it? Why did you tell us? I said none should get it on a platter. Your father was an MLA multiple times. Did you get it on a platter or did you work hard for it?
Absolutely not. Nabila, you've seen me almost since about 10 years. We've been on a lot of panel discussions. You were in TV9 back then.
Yeah.
I've grown up as an activist. I've, be it animal rights, environment, I'm an environmental engineer myself. I've worked as a researcher, as a scientist. And I've also spoken up against injustice. And be it women, be it any injustice, I think at the end of the day, I think that's exactly what my party did. That, whoever deserves the ticket, and that's. And I just want to add one more.
I think it should be a little more transparent today.
I have one question,
how many of a
please.
BV Srinivas do we see? Very few of them who've really worked their way ground up to reach where they are.
There are many people
of them
who
in the
have
BJP also who've really worked their way ground up. But
Everybody
somehow,
has worked hard
otherwise,
up to
if
the
a
level.
youth, if a common youth wants to enter politics, there seems to be a shield.
There is a common youth. There is a common youth. For example, Umapati Gowda is a common youth who's gotten a ticket in a neighboring constituency.
My apologies.
And
your
why
time's up.
an ordinary? Be it across.
Ma'am, if you take 20 seconds, I give you the time.
Absolutely.
All right.
Indira ji led this country as the Prime Minister 18 years. Sonia ji led the National Party, Indian National Congress for 21 years. Now Priyanka ji is saying, I am na-nayaki. Why? Forget about other parties. Why you failed to ensure more seats, 33% seats to women? Tell me. You are in the helm of
Ma'am, BJP has been in power. Why is that they haven't passed the women's reservation bill in the past 8 years?
Right.
You have majority. Ma'am, you're a woman. You have to agree.
Why
My party has unconditionally supported.
Sonia ji is the.
We will support it.
I think women in this country have all the room to speak. I love the fact that two women took away a chunk of the time. Bhaskar Rao clearly felt slightly heckled here.
Endangered species. We deserve.
I need to figure out.
Thank you very much.
Nabila, I want to figure out why is it that we sat here and what is it that they heard over there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. But exactly like how our panelists are, that's how opinionated even the youth are. But somehow this disconnect needs to be bridged. And I really hope that political parties reach out to the aspirations of the youth, inspire them to take on real issues. And that's what we all want to see, a growth of the youth today, because they are the ones who actually constitute of your large electoral vote bank. Forget caste and community. It's really the youth that every party needs to focus on. Thank you very much, ma'am. And sir. Thank you so much for that really fiery debate. Lovely chat with our three panelists there. Samya Reddy, Congress MLA, Tejaswini Gowda, BJP MLC, and the new entrant into the BJP, Bhaskar Rao, former cop, now turned politician. He's contesting this assembly elections. Appreciate all of your time. Our next session, again, going to be with the faces of Karnataka.